My name is Lev.
My name is Liv. And we're your hostesses with the mostesses.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's girl gang again today. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Yeah, so Rob got back from his trip this week, and he's just a little bit backlogged with some work. He's going at his little keyboard there, working on our website, so he won't be joining us today. Maybe we'll see him pop into chat. But for another week, we get to just hang out together, girl gang. So if you're a boy, hop out the chat, find somewhere else. This is not the place for you.
People are gonna start wondering if we actually tied Rob up and like tucked him in a closet or something.
I know, yeah. We actually fired Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, any videos you see coming out are just because we had a backlog.
Emily's actually ahead, and that's why he's still in the videos for now.
Yeah. Well, before we do anything crazy here today, between us, we've got the Will Wheel. This is Will. And this is the Wheel.
The Will.
This is the Will. So, Leathyr has a
Did I pin it?
thing
Oh, yeah, I
pinned in
did.
chat. Follow that link, fill out the form, and you'll be entered to win.
Oh, the pressure's on today.
spin.
I gotta try to beat you.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I mean, I've been undefeated for quite some time now, so good freaking luck. Yeah, I'm not.
Well, let's see who's hanging out
Yeah.
first thing this morning. Got
Got
Just
some folks in
Chris, Jonathan G, Dan ATX, Guppy Joe. He said he was making the coffee now. Anyone need a cup? I've been on a sweet tea kick lately.
Really?
I know.
Homemade?
Yeah. I haven't really drank sweet tea like consistently. Well, I guess I kind of drank it at Chick-fil-A when we worked there, but
Yeah.
not like this since I lived in Arkansas. And then when I moved up here is when I discovered iced coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like, is it like real southern sweet tea where it's like 50% tea, 50% sugar, or?
No, it's not my mom's sweet tea. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But I do think I'm going to ask Cody to, like, can we work on, like, scaling it back? Just, like,
The sugar?
yeah.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad, but
Yeah.
because I would like to, like, wean myself off of
Yeah.
it. It'd be wild if I ever drank unsweet tea, but you
I
could
like
just
unsweet
slightly
tea.
sweet tea.
Yeah. I always like, if I go to a Cane's or something and get sweet tea, I always am like 25% sweet tea, 75% unsweet.
Really? That's crazy. Yeah, I've never in my life asked for any percentage of unsweet tea ever.
Or sometimes I just go full unsweet. But I grew up with my grandma doing that. Like, she just drank unsweet tea all the time. So I don't like like, you've seen like the graphics where it's like, this is how much sugar is in your Mountain Dew. This is how much is in your whatever. And then like when you make sweet tea, you do see it
You
that
see
way
it.
in real life.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we worked at Chick-fil-A, and I saw how much sugar we were putting into our teas and our lemonades, that was
a lot.
that was an awakening for me, and I was like, yeah, I'm not.
I know, and that's why I need to be weaned off of it
Yeah.
because I know that this isn't good.
Yeah,
But it is good.
yeah. Sugar is highly addictive.
But it's still not as my mom's sweet tea. Like that stuff's straight syrup.
Yeah.
I can't.
like
I
love
do water hers down.
I love like the childhood bliss of not knowing that type of information, because then you can just be like, oh my gosh, this sweet tea is great. But as an adult, I'm just like so conscious of
Yeah.
not like to a like, oh no, seed oils or whatever. I don't know anything about all that, but like
Yeah.
sugar specifically, it's like I'm just aware of the amount of sugar that goes into my body, and it's like,
Yeah. I'm aware of it. I just haven't done a good job of stopping it.
yeah.
So we also have Fishy Troy, Mike Reardon, Tank Girl. Dan says Chick-fil-A's pineapple dragon fruit drink is so good if you haven't had it. I haven't had it.
I also haven't had it. Maybe I'll
But
go
I think
there for
it's
lunch
leaving
today.
soon. Isn't that what the video that Ed was doing the other day?
That video was funny.
I think that it won't be around too much longer. Yeah.
Maybe I'll go there for lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like my chat has lagged or something. There we go.
The chat isn't extremely chatty yet this morning.
Yeah, we don't have too many people joining us yet.
Yeah. So, let's see. What do we have going on at Flip that we could chat about? We have not members only. I know Em has the Aquarium Club thing scheduled already, right? I feel
For
like I saw
July.
that. Huh?
For July?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at the end of the month.
The end of the month. I feel like that's all we really have going on right now.
Yeah, we're just coming off of our 4th of July sale,
Yeah.
so
If you missed it, you missed out.
sorry. So our shipping team has been busy getting those orders out. Definitely had a jam-packed, busy day yesterday.
Yeah.
Lots of orders going out. I don't know if it has to do with 4th of July, but we've had a lot of USPS order delays. So, like, our email inbox is just flooded with people being like, when is my order going to get here? You know, it shipped on the 2nd and still isn't here. Most of those, I think pretty much all of them ended up getting delivered yesterday. But,
Yeah.
USPS is definitely
On the
a
struggle
little
bus.
behind this week. But things should be smoothed over. Now we're just kind of game planning, I think, what's in store for the rest of July.
We just got a Shrimp Envy restock yesterday. So our Shrimp Envy starter bundle is back in stock with that. And there were a couple other things that were out of stock, but and we're working on a Northern restock. I've been working this morning on shipping out a
long
big
time
wholesale
coming.
order. I feel like there's one other thing that I was going to mention. We have a big import coming on Monday.
Yeah, so Monday we're going to get restocked with all kinds of things. I know if you look at our website, it's like everything's out of stock because we've really scaled back what we're offering for at least most of this year. But the things that we intend to keep in stock have been in stock, but we're getting a little bit low on some things. So we definitely have some shrimp coming in next week. We've got cherry shrimp, amanos coming back in, making sure we're caught up on those things. Gardner killifish, I think, just sold out. We'll be getting some of those in.
Are we getting any chilies?
We are getting chilies.
Those just sold out
Did they?
yesterday.
Dang, I feel like we had a ton of tanks of those.
I have one red tank right now.
Okay.
And then after they catch all of them, I'll see if there's any stragglers, but I don't know. It was looking like probably
Little
going to
slim
empty her
pickings?
out. Yeah.
Yeah, so Caradina we're not getting restocked on, but we are getting, I think, each type of crayfish. I'm not sure if any of those are sold out right now, but we're getting
I don't think so.
fully restocked on those. Crayfish are one of those things that when we import them, they come individually wrapped. So that's always fun to. I think we're getting like, we're not getting 1,000. Maybe we're getting like 500-ish. So literally 500 bags, sit there, cut them open, put them in the tank. But
Takes a little time.
it's not too bad because actually usually we have 2 people doing it, so you just get to hang out with the buddy and chit chat.
Yeah. Just got a lot of plants in yesterday too.
Yeah. Jacob was hard at work yesterday. Stayed late a little bit getting all those put in their homes.
We had a ton of plants sell out during our sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were going crazy for the plants.
People love plants. I know. I was checking orders this morning, and like there was a lot of them where people were just ordering like 4.
I almost sent a picture
ton
on
of different types
Discord
of plants.
yesterday. I looked up and saw Faith packing this order. Her whole station was covered in a ton of plants. I was like, Faith, how much was that order? And she said it was 2 orders combined, and like the total was like $500 of like just plants.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
Getting that 50% off shipping.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was crazy.
We haven't done this in a while. What is everyone out there drinking this morning? So, me, I flip-flop. You know, this wouldn't be coffee with Flip without coffee. So, honestly, I'm not sure if this is even coffee with Flip right now. It might just be who gave these 2 women a mic.
I also just want to point out that you're drinking out of a Chick-fil-A mug right now, which I didn't realize.
Let me switch it.
No
This is
free
not
promo.
sponsored. Yeah, so I flip-flop on my coffee a lot. Sometimes I'll go through a little Dunkin' kick where, I come to work for a few hours, try to get through the day without coffee, realize I actually do need the coffee, go grab a Dunkin'. Sometimes I go through like a pre-made cold brew kick where I just have that on hand, and then, I don't know, sometimes I just make coffee and pour it over ice and call that a day. So that's what I did today. I did the Dunkin' brand, but it's like made for cold brew. So when you pour it over ice, it's stronger.
Is that good?
It's a little too strong, I think, for
I know I've
my
tried
preference,
like
but I
the
didn't put too
Dunkin'
much cream in
bottled
it.
coffees before, just like on the go, and they
Yeah,
were not great.
I don't ever do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do not get those.
Yeah. And then a little bit of the, I think it's International Delight Sweet and Creamy Creamer.
Yeah, that's the good one.
It used to be Cold Stone Sweet Cream, and then they rebranded it. It's like,
Partnership broken.
yeah, it's not went very well for them.
Well, Scott's having a coffee and a breakfast sandwich.
Okay, Scott.
I could go for a breakfast sandwich.
That does sound pretty good.
ICJ is drinking a Diet Coke. Luminen says nothing till later. Why not?
Yeah, what the heck, Luminen?
Just Chris says Monster Rehab tea/lemonade. Dan says I have an espresso and Keurig to support my coffee habits.
Smart, Dan.
Yeah,
Smart.
you see, the thing is we have some of those things here, and we just still go to Dunkin'.
Yeah. Well, again, my issue here is we don't have an ice machine. So
Yeah.
if I want, like, this time of year, I definitely don't want hot coffee.
Yeah, I never want
I'm not mature enough for that to just want hot coffee all year round. So this time of year, I'm like, I want an iced coffee, but I don't want a cold coffee with no ice. I want an iced coffee.
Yeah,
And without the ice situation,
it's not the
I'm not
same.
set up for success. So
See, I make my coffee every morning, iced coffee, but no ice.
yeah,
That's how I make mine.
I don't vibe with that.
I mean, I
You
should
don't have
do
ice
that.
at home?
I should do that, and then it wouldn't get watered down.
Yeah,
And
because
then
I
I
just
could
do
keep
my
drinking
2
it.
shots of
Yeah.
espresso from the espresso, do a little bit of monk fruit in it, do a little bit of almond milk. The almond milk cools it down enough.
Yeah.
Jason's drinking chai tea. Luminen says blood work. I need to go get blood work done. Maybe tomorrow.
Well, Luminen, I hope you have the best meal and beverage after your blood work
Me
that
too.
you've had this year.
Amen.
The whole year.
The whole year.
Your whole life, actually.
Yeah. I was seeing people like saying they're drinking Diet Coke and Monster, and Tank Girl just said she's drinking Mountain Dew, and I'm like, for breakfast? But I see, it is 11:30 here.
Yeah.
Almost.
That's true.
Quarter after. Sometimes I do that.
Guppy Joe just says just coffee. Scott, you're right. We do need an ice machine, or at least some ice trays.
Yeah.
We have a
need to-
freezer 3 or 5.
Yeah. Or just like a $2 bag of ice.
Yeah, it would last us a while.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, that is our Who Gave These Two Women a Mic segment. So why don't we talk about some fish stuff?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, Rhett. Is she Link or is she Rhett, Emily?
I don't know, because I'm trying to figure out who I think you would be most like.
Okay, I don't even know what y'all are talking about. I
Yeah.
know it's a show, but I don't watch shows.
Yeah, so there's an internet show. It's called Good Mythical Morning. It's 2 lifelong friends
Talking about life for a long time.
for a very long time. That's Ear Biscuits.
Is this a podcast?
They have a
They-
podcast that's Ear Biscuits.
Yeah. This is just like their morning
Yeah.
YouTube show.
Yeah. But you've said 2 things so far this morning that were things that they say. So sometimes they'll do a little segment where they will wear a blindfold and they'll say, as you can see, we can't. And earlier you said, as you can see, and it seemed like you almost were going to do that. And then also they'll do like their little intro and they'll be like, all right, today we're doing freshwater aquarium trivia. And then the other host will say, let's talk about that. And you just did that.
I'm a natural.
Yeah. You should see if they want a third.
Yeah.
They're 2 like 6'5" men, so
They could use some balance.
Yeah,
A
they
5 foot woman.
they could use a small woman. All right, so today we don't have like a broad overarching topic. This is just freshwater aquarium stuff. So here's how this is going to go. Leather and I both have...
Don't be peeking. I saw that.
Leather and I both have 6 questions apiece that we will ask each other. And, you know...
And we need you guys to chat, like, help us answer. Well, don't help us answer. We just need you guys to participate, too.
Yeah.
Last week, you guys were all in.
Yeah. Emily, do you have the questions to post in chat?
Yeah.
Perfect. So Emily will post the questions and the options in chat, too. So you guys feel
Stump
free to...
the chump, just Chris says.
Huh?
Stump the Stump the chump.
Who's the chump?
I don't know. I guess it's whoever gets stumped. Madison, look, it's Girl Gang again today.
See, I knew she would be joining us. You know, as long as, you know, Tank Girl and Madison are here, it's just Girl Gang for days.
Yep. Girl Gang.
Alrighty. Grow More Veggies just joined us in chat too. Okay, so freshwater aquarium trivia. Leather, do you want me to ask you first?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, because I want to see if my questions are tailored. I mean, I know that these aren't actually tailored, but these questions are mostly about fish that you take care of on the daily.
oh really? That's why I was mixing them up. I was just letting you.
No, yeah. But I'm just curious
Yeah.
if he made it so, like, yours,
Yeah.
like this one, was I supposed to be asking you these questions?
These questions. Okay. That can't happen. That can't be like that. These questions are also, well, half of them are about fish that I take care of, and then half of them are about fish that you take care of.
I think only one of these is a fish I take care of.
What if it's the same questions?
We got 2 copies of the same exact paper.
All right.
Okay.
Does yours say quiz 1?
Yes.
Okay. Mine says quiz 2.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's good. All right. In the wild, what is the main food source for Stiphodon gobies? You know what type of goby that is, right?
One of them.
It's like the
I mean,
blue neons,
yeah.
cobalt blues, orange fin. Those are Stiphodon gobies.
Oh, yeah. I just didn't know. So that is like all of those type. I just
Yeah.
didn't know if it was a specific one of
No.
those.
Stiphodon is like
Yeah.
that type of goby.
I mean, that was the fish that I was picturing in my mind.
Okay.
One of those blue ones.
I just want to make sure you weren't thinking like peacock goby, night
No,
goby,
no.
bumblebee goby.
No.
Okay. All right, so for those, algae and biofilm, insect larvae, small crustaceans, or plant detritus.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Dang it. I'm trying to think if they're one of the ones that get Daphne all the time, but I don't think they are. They didn't get it when I
don't
fed your
know.
fish. Unless it
Is
was,
that why the tank was crashing
unless
when I
it
got
was
back?
frozen food day. Okay, so algae, I don't think that they're necessarily like known for algae eating, but
Okay.
but maybe that's all they have in the wild. I don't know. What was the next one?
So A is algae and biofilm. B is insect larva.
Maybe, but I'm not set on it, but I'm not no on it.
Okay. Well, what makes you feel like maybe, and then
Because
what
that's
makes you
something
feel like
that
maybe not?
they definitely have in the wild. I feel like,
Yeah.
you know, if they had the choice between algae and insect larva, maybe they would prefer insect larva.
Protein.
Yeah.
Okay. Option C is small crustaceans,
Oh, heck. So would that
like
be
shrimps.
like, yeah. Yeah, but okay. Not that I know where these fish actually live in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
Are there shrimp there? I don't know.
You think there's shrimp in Mosquito Lake? Should we release some Amanos?
Maybe that would actually really help.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
Okay, and then what's the last one?
And D is plant detritus.
Okay, so this is very split. Even if I was set on like a plant versus a protein.
Yeah. There's a narrow margin between the two.
That still only narrows me down to 2. Well, the chat's no help because they say A and B.
Oh, so you're cheating.
Yeah. Oh, wait, everybody thinks everything. Yeah, I don't know.
But we're not talking about what could be a food source for stiffid and gobies in the wild. The question is, in the wild, what is the main food source?
Yeah, I don't know where they live, so I don't know if there's other, like, there's insect larvae. I don't know if there's
That is in the wild.
crustaceans. There's plants.
Yeah, I'm not
and
really sure
algae.
what region they're native to. Could you look that up and let us know? I'm curious.
I'm just gonna go with.
So, like, what
Do they have clean tanks? Can you tell me that?
what do you notice about their behavior in the tank? What do they tend to do?
Be lazy.
Yeah.
They
They are
just
pretty lazy.
They just sit there. Yeah, I mean, are you trying to give me a hint that they actually do eat some algae?
So it's
I'm
saying that
trying
they're
to help
from
you.
Indonesia, the Philippines, Papua New Guinea, shallow waters.
You know, this would help Liv because she knows where we order shrimp from. I don't.
Streams and rivers.
Well, since you're saying that, I'm gonna guess algae because there's not plants in our tanks and there's not small crustaceans and there's also not insect larvae.
Great job, Leather. Yeah. So algae and biofilm is the answer. And so, like, if you watch a tank of stiffening gobies, they usually are just like sucking on the bottom of the tank, or sometimes you'll see them like on the side of the glass. Not in the same way that you'll see like a hill stream loach.
Yeah.
But they will just kind of like suction their mouth to the side of the glass and hang there.
Interesting.
So
I never noticed that about
yeah,
them.
they're more like a bottom feeding type. They will swim around. Like I did put Daphne in their tanks the other day. Just
Do they eat it?
yeah. Which like they're the type of fish that you'd be like, I don't know if they'll like actually attack these.
Yeah.
But they did
Because they are lazy.
Yeah.
Like, if it hops in my mouth, I'll eat it, but...
Kind of, yeah. So like they're the type of fish that I feel like when you have a lazy dog and you're like, I need this dog to like run around. Like they're not just gonna choose to
Yeah.
run around your living room. But
Yeah.
I guess if you throw a ball, they'll be like, okay, I'll go chase that, I guess. So yeah, Leather, great job.
Thanks. Okay, you ready for your first question? Galaxy rasbora and celestial pearl danio are both common names for the same fish. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Is it really A, danio, B, rasbora, C, neither, or D, both?
Wow. Well,
Yeah, that can be confusing.
I'm gonna knock out the answers, neither and both.
I think that's a great place to start.
Yeah. So I think in the trade, I know the answer, but I'm just gonna
Yeah.
I'm just gonna talk about the answer
talk
for
it
a
through because
moment.
the chat is split.
Yeah. So in the hobby, so when we're talking about CPDs, aka Galaxy rasbora, aka Fireworks rasbora, there's like all these different names for this fish. When you look at those and the gosh, I can't think of it. The dwarf emerald rasbora. They're basically an identical fish. So they look the same, they behave the same, they're the same size, but people call, like, there's not a different name for the dwarf emerald. It's just the dwarf emerald rasbora. CPDs, on the other hand, they are called rasboras and danios, which then makes a lot of people be like, okay, so they're both a rasbora. And so in the trade, that's why you'll hear people referring to them as both and, really. But scientifically, they're classified as a danio. So that's the answer. They're a danio. But I don't really know what that means for the dwarf emerald. You know, is a dwarf emerald also technically a danio? Because that's always
Maybe.
bothered me. Even when, you know, for us here, when we went from, at one point we just had all of our fish everywhere. Like there was no
Yeah.
rhyme or reason to where fish were. And then we kind of started getting rhyme or reason, and then we've moved things around a lot. But when we really started putting things into their classification, it bothered me that the dwarf emeralds were with the rasboras and the CPDs were with the danios, because dwarf emeralds and CPDs both thrive a little more in a lower pH water, a little bit softer water. But CPDs were kept with danios, which prefer a more 7.5-ish pH.
Yeah.
And I was keeping them at like 6.5. And it annoyed the heck out of me that in one row I had to have 2 different water types
Yeah.
for a fish that is technically of the same classification. But all that yapping to say, they're a danio.
That's a good point. Grow More Veggie says the scientific name of dwarf emerald is Danio something something big word. So she, well, I don't know if Grow More Veggie is a girl or guy. They said I'd wager it's a Danio too.
Yeah. Yeah, Luminen says they were considered a rasbora until recently, until they were classified a danio. So, like, I'm actually really curious, reclassified as a danio.
Is he talking about the celestial pearl or the
Maybe
dwarf
he's
emerald?
talking about both. I don't know. Luminen, clarify, please.
Yeah, I guess also, like, when I think about rasbora, like other rasboras that we have, which I guess we also, their body shapes are
Rasbora is
just
kind of
different.
broad. Because, like, we have the micro rasboras.
Yeah, and then we have, like, the rummy nose,
Yeah.
which are a little bigger.
Harlequin.
But still, like, even, like, physical appearance, they don't look similar.
Yeah. So, like, that's what's confusing to me is, like, what is it like? Does it go down to, like, the cell biology almost that, like, classifies it as one versus the other? Because my simple mind would be like, okay, if it look like this, if it act like this, if it like water like this,
It'd be
this. Yeah. But of course, it's deeper than that biologically, but
Yeah.
it is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're 1-1.
Go team. Go Tigers.
All right. Question number 2 for you, Leather. What type of natural water conditions do Stiphodon gobies inhabit? Okay, so we know that they're native to places like Papua New Guinea, the Philippines, Indonesia.
Do you want to know what that tells me?
Nada.
Exactly.
Okay, so option A. Fast-moving, well-oxygenated streams. Option B, slow-moving canals. Option C, brackish inlets. Or option D, stagnant swamps.
Okay. Dan, I think you're right. He says freshwater. Okay, so I don't think it's brackish because I think that we would have potentially talked about that before if it was, but who knows?
Okay.
Could be that.
Bumblebee gobies are brackish.
That's true. But are peacock gobies brackish?
I don't know.
And also, why are all those gobies nothing alike?
Yeah, why are they a goby? Like, what does that mean?
Okay. The fast moving water flow, like part of me's like, oh, maybe because they're long and skinny they could just like turn sideways and enjoy the flow, but then also they're lazy, like what if they get swept away? They're not gonna like that. They just want to chill.
Yeah.
And then there's stagnant swamp, and what was the other one?
stagnant swamps, brackish inlets, slow-moving canals, and fast oxygenated streams.
Yeah, also I think about the fast oxygenated stream, and I feel like maybe that would be less likely to have algae. I don't know for sure, but I just think about, we were trying to add more water to prevent green water and all that stuff, and so maybe there's correlation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm leaning more towards the stagnant swamp or the slow-moving something.
Canal. What's your heart leading you to?
They don't really give swamp vibes. They're not like
What does give swamp vibes?
a toad.
True. Turtles.
Yeah. Alligators.
Yeah.
They're too pretty for a swamp. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go with the canal.
All right, so you're going with B, slow-moving
Yeah,
canal.
just know that I literally have no idea, and I don't even have any good reasoning to narrow it down to this, really.
Yeah, I am taking that in consideration as you say that.
Thank you.
And it's incorrect.
Dang it.
Yeah. So
Are they little swamp puppies?
apparently the answer is fast-moving, well-oxygenated
That's
streams.
crazy.
Which is surprising to me, because like when I look at a goby, I think it just wants to just be sitting.
It just wants to lay there.
Yeah. So
Maybe they just latch onto something and enjoy the ride.
because didn't you say shallow, slow-moving waters and
Yeah,
streams?
let me reread what I said. Yeah, it says prefer shallow waters, often in streams and rivers with rocky substrates.
Rocky substrates. I mean, like the rocky substrates make sense because they do have scales. They're not like a scaleless fish.
It does say that, like, this is, I mean, for the particular goby that we're talking about, but it says that it includes multiple species and each adapt to their unique ecological niches within their range. So I think that's also interesting.
Yeah. So I will say that when I do water changes on them, they are one of the
love it.
ones that just love to swim into the stream.
Yeah,
So I guess
makes sense.
maybe I'm depriving them by not having a crazy amount of water flow in their
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah, Dan, I agree. Their body shape does seem like it's made for holding onto rocks in the stream, but they're
Yeah.
just so lazy. I didn't think that was going to be the answer.
Yeah.
Well, the more you know.
Maybe I'm just not bringing out the best in them.
Well-
Maybe they wouldn't be lazy if they had a more active mother. I'll work on that.
Yeah, do better. Okay, number 2. Why are celestial pearl danios often called galaxy rasboras? A, they have tiny star-like spots on a dark body.
Wow.
B, they were first found near a cave named Galaxy Cavern. C, their discoverer was named Roger Galaxy. D, their body has a long galaxy-shaped stripes.
You know, when I look into those tanks, I can
IMAX
just
says they
see the
originated from
universe.
space.
Yeah. They were actually brought to Earth by the Big Bang meteor strike. The same one that took
Meteor
out,
strike.
I don't know, the same meteor asteroid that took out the dinosaurs brought us CPDs. No, when I look into their tank, my third eye opens and I see the universe. And so I think that's because of their white star-like speckles on their beautiful, entrancing, dark blue body and their orange fins.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is. They have tiny star-like spots on a dark body.
Yay! Okay, are you ready for question number 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Which grows larger? The pygmy cory or the Habrosus cory?
That's it?
Don't look at my paper.
Just this or that?
Yeah, the options are pygmy cory or Habrosus cory. There is a C that says they grow the same.
Mm. Well, it just is. Wait, which one grows larger?
Which grows larger?
Oh, it just is the Habrosus cory.
That's your answer?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's not really any working through that, is there?
Yeah.
It's just... I mean, pygmy, their name is like, hey, I'm small and I'll stay small.
Yeah.
Well, glad we worked through that. It was intriguing.
Okay. Where do orange Venezuelans get their coloration? This is a corridora for anybody that didn't know.
Venezuela.
It's not an option.
Oh.
A, natural color form. B, selectively bred. C, a hybrid between two species. That's it. Those are your options.
A, B, or C.
So natural color form, selectively bred, or a hybrid between two species.
Okay.
IMAX says eating carrots, and Zippy says from their parents.
Is option E, liver failure, jaundice, and is that an option?
They look
No.
like a Grey's Anatomy, like season 1 jaundice patient.
Yeah.
Whips World says Vinny's Corner Paint Shop.
Keep the answers coming.
Yeah,
guys.
genuinely, I'm not sure. So, a couple things I do know though is we also have a black Venezuelan cory.
Mm-hmm.
So we have orange and we have black. Those are the two Venezuelan cory species that I'm familiar with. I don't know what makes them different from one another because actually, when I look at them, I don't even think their body shapes look the same. So I'm like,
Yeah, I noticed that about the black ones.
like they're
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 thinner.
not yeah
They're like longer and
they're like flatter. Like they don't
Yeah.
have as tall of a head. Yes, they don't really look the same. Like the orange ones are like kind of fat and fluffy looking.
yeah.
And the blacks look like CrossFit athletes.
Yeah, literally.
What a contrast.
I know, it is weird. So I also know, so I know that, and then I also know that the orange look very similar to the bronze or green cory, which is just, I think, the Corridorus aeneas or whatever. And then obviously there's different color variations of that species. But like, if you had a tank that was mixed with orange cories and bronze cories, you'd have to have a very selective eye in order to
Yeah.
know the difference. Like if we had bad ethics, we would never do this.
Yeah.
But if an aquarium company had bad ethics, they could just
Sell them as the same.
import, Corridorus aeneas, the bronze / green cory, and sell them as orange cories, and people probably wouldn't know the difference. Because if you really want a green cory, you need the emerald cory,
I
which
like those.
is the splendids or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, so selective breeding, natural coloration, or what was the third option?
A hybrid between two species.
Okay.
Dan's calling them Oompa Loompa fish.
Oompa Loompas. Yeah, I actually think it's a mutation from Charlie's Chocolate Factory.
They came out of that chocolate river.
Yeah.
I
Watch,
like
I'm gonna go down to my tanks later and they're gonna be marching around singing songs and wearing suspenders. I just know it.
I can't even reach the table to prop my feet up.
Ugh, I feel like I'm gonna
struggle.
get this one wrong just because I don't feel led in any direction. Like I'm trying to think of variables that I understand, and
Yeah.
so like I don't I'm not vibing with a cross between two species, I don't think. I know cost-wise, like, again, to purchase them, they're, like, more than 10 times more expensive than Aeneas cories. So that makes me think that maybe there is a selective breeding type thing going on, because, like, if it's wild caught, I would think that cost is similar when we import. And then, yeah, there's just those, and then black. So I guess I'm going to go with selective breeding.
That is incorrect. It is their natural color form.
Well, the more you know.
Maybe
I want to
they're-
know about black cories then.
Yeah.
Black Venezuelans. And now I'm going to have to look into why are they more costly.
Yeah. I wonder if the supply just isn't
Yeah.
as great.
Yeah, if they grow in a slightly different region, that's
Yeah.
something to do there. I don't know. Okay. Are you ready for your fourth question?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Amen, sister. On average, how long do Bosemani rainbow fish live? 1 to 2 years, option A. Option B, 3 to 4 years. Option C, 4 to 5 years. Or option D, more than 5 years.
Okay. So, my first thought is, I think little dogs live longer than big dogs.
It's true.
Not that Bosemani is a large fish in comparison to other fish,
Yeah.
but in comparison to what we have.
Yeah.
But then I think about the fact that when we first, I don't know if it was this one or a different rainbow fish, we first got them, when we set them up to take pictures of them, they were like young. They
Yeah.
looked nothing like an adult Bosemani rainbow fish, or whichever one it was. I think they all kind of function in the same way. I didn't even know if it was the right fish. And then I learned that, yes, this fish that looked literally nothing like the picture I thought it was supposed to look like, it turns into that. But it does take a while. Years.
Yeah.
I don't remember how many. So, I feel like they have to live for a decent amount of time if it takes them that long to even look like an adult.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are my options again?
1 to 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
3 to 4 years, 4 to 5 years, or more than 5 years.
Okay, so I think more than 5 might be pushing it. But maybe 4 to 5 isn't, because it takes a long time for them to grow up. I'm just going to go with 4 to 5. Dang it.
More than 5.
Wow.
Yeah. So I know that, like, people who like rainbow fish are usually, like, big into rainbow fish.
Yeah.
And I haven't really looked into rainbow fish a ton, but, like, I think that is a species that people end up putting in a tank like this, kind of,
It
because
would be so cool in a tank like
yeah.
this.
Oh my gosh, if we had just, like, a assorted rainbow fish tank that was like the Bosemani type ones.
Yeah, not the fork tails
No.
and such.
No, but they get, like, really cool. Like, you can get them with, like, naturally with, like, pink hues and, like, all sorts of colors and stuff.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I really
5
like
plus
those
years
fish.
is the answer.
Wow.
I wonder, like, what the cap on that though is. Is it, like, more than 5 is, like, 10 years, or like?
Oh, Em, will you look it up?
What am I looking up exactly?
Lifespan of a Bosemani rainbow fish. Whip said 12 to 15.
See, that's kind of like what I was
That's-
feeling like. Like, people.
That's so long.
What was the answer that he had? 5 plus?
Yeah.
The AI summary says 5 to 8 years in captivity. But if I've learned anything from Rob, it's often that it depends on how you're taking care of things. So
Yeah.
that's probably like the bare minimum,
Yeah.
5 to 8.
All right. Well,
Sounds like a good fish to get.
yeah. Get some.
You can't. They're sold out.
In 3 weeks, get some.
Sign up for the
Do it.
in-stock reminder.
Are we getting some on import?
Get some. Hmm. Yeah, the thing about those, though, is every time we import them, we order like 60 or 70 of them, and then they send us 25.
Yeah, that's annoying.
So we need to like quadruple our order. But then the moment we order like 200, thinking
They'll
like,
send
okay,
all
now
of
we'll get
them.
50. Yeah, they'll send us 200 Bosemani rainbow fish. All right, what else you got for me?
Okay. What is the maximum size of an average pygmy Corydora? A, half an inch. B, 3/4 of an inch.
I'm so glad this is in inches.
C.
Let me just say.
1 inch. D, 1.25 inches.
So 1.25, 1 inch, half an inch, and then what was the first option?
Half an inch was the
Oh,
first option.
Okay, say them all again.
Half, 3/4, 1,
Oh.
and 1 1/4.
Okay, well, the difference between half an inch and 3/4 of an inch isn't much.
Yeah.
It's 1/4 of an inch, actually.
Yeah.
So that's a weird thing to ask me.
Yeah. Wait, I'm sitting here like, I wonder what the answer is.
Okay, so, they say that your first thumb knuckle is an inch, and I think a pygmy cory is about a little less than that. So,
Chat is kind of leaning towards 3/4 or
that's
1
where
inch.
I'm leaning. I'm leaning 3/4, I think.
Is that your final answer?
And this is their maximum size, too.
Maximum size.
Maximum size, yeah.
So, man, we sell a lot of pygmy cories, so we don't always have them
We don't have them
on
long
hand
enough.
for a while. I mean, is maximum biggest ever recorded pygmy cory? Because I'm sure there's an 1.25 inch mutant pygmy cory giant, but
Well, it's maximum average. The average maximum.
oh gosh. Or is it the average of all of the maximum sized pygmy cories?
We can really dissect this question.
Yeah, I need this to be more specific, please. All those freaks of nature pygmy cories. Let's see. Maximum average. Okay, I feel confident that it's either an 1.25 inch, or not. That's not what I meant to say. That would be the freak giants. I'm feeling confident it's either about 3/4 of an inch or an inch.
I can tell you that it is one of those.
Okay. So, okay, and this is for adults, for an adult pygmy cory. I guess you don't know
It
any
just
better than
says
anyone else does.
Just the maximum size.
an average pygmy cory you can reach.
Okay. This isn't me going with my gut. This is me overthinking, but I'm gonna say an inch.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, I was really feeling the 3/4, but
Yeah, I feel
was
like
I deal with a lot of babies, I'm sure, or teenage pygmy cories, not full-grown pygmy cories. So
Yeah, I feel
Okay.
like I probably would have went with 3/4.
yeah, that's where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
But
Well, congratulations.
thank you, thank you. Okay, Leather, I have a very important question for you. At what age do Bosemani rainbow fish typically display their full adult color? Now this is gonna mess you up.
I wish we'd talked about this more during the last question.
Yeah. Okay. You're really not gonna like these answers. I can tell that right now.
Why? Because they're 3 days. 5 to 7 days.
No. No, okay, so
I
we're
know
talking
it's
about
not days, but years. Like 1 year, 1.5 year.
it's even worse than that. 2 months,
No.
4 months,
No.
6 months.
This
Or
is
12
displaying their
months.
full color.
Their full adult color.
I don't think it's any of those.
2, 4, 6, or 12 months.
I'm going to go with 12, but I think it's longer than that.
It's 6 months.
I don't think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not adding up to me. But I knew you weren't going to like that. Because I also would have been like 24 months.
Yeah. Yeah, when I looked into it over this whole picture thing, it was like it took years. Now I'm going to have to
Hey.
look into it again.
Hey, I didn't make these questions.
Okay,
Talk
you
to
ready?
whoever did. I'm ready.
What key color difference distinguishes a cardinal tetra from a neon tetra?
Wow.
A, the red stripe on a cardinal runs the full body, and the neon, it only runs halfway. B, cardinals have a blue stripe, neons have a green stripe. C, neons have a yellow spot on their tail, and cardinals have none. Or D, cardinals have a blue stripe that only goes halfway through their body.
Well,
I'm curious to see what the chat guesses on this one.
I'll tell you this much. Neither of them have any dots on their tails.
You're correct.
We're going to cut that out of here. On the topic of a blue stripe versus a green stripe, that's so subjective. We have red fish that are orange,
Literally.
you know? So we're going to cut that out of here. Not red and green. That's pretty distinct. Blue and green, though, it's like that turquoise thing where it's like, is this blue turquoise or green turquoise? Whatever.
Is it
Cardinal
catching the light the
tetras.
right way, or is it not?
Yeah, literally. But cardinal tetras do, in fact, have a red belly that runs the length of their body, which I think was option A.
Yes. The red stripe on a cardinal runs the full body, and neon, it only runs halfway.
Yep.
You are correct, and the chat was also correct.
Wow, good job, chat. All right, well, I guess it's time for me to ask you my 6th and final question. Do purple harlequins, rasboras, occur naturally?
Oh, not Danios?
Correct. I know there's some controversy there. Do they occur naturally in the wild, or are they a color morph created by breeders? Option A. They're naturally occurring. Option B, they're selectively bred. Option C, they're a hybrid species. Or D, they're color enhanced in the lab.
Okay. Well, I know that we sell these.
We do?
I know we do not agree with color enhanced lab anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm nixing that.
Okay. Option D, we are cutting out.
Yeah. Also, if they were, isn't B like something about being selectively bred
Yeah.
by people?
Mm-hmm.
We don't buy them from someone. I mean, well, we do, but like,
Do you know where we often get them from?
no.
All right. Well, I can't help you then.
So maybe they could breed them there, I guess, but I don't know if the places we import from do that or not.
I don't know.
What was C?
Hybrid species.
I mean, I'm gonna nix that one.
Okay. Because when we're talking hybrid species, we're talking like a Guddler.
Yeah. Yeah, so selectively bred, or the other one just like they just occur in nature.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. Chat isn't sure either. They say A, some say color morph, selectively bred. Nobody knows. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with they just occur naturally. What?
Is it?
What?
When I was in a rush, I didn't get to actually fact check that one.
You have the wrong answer?
Yeah.
You're about to tell me I was right, but I'm wrong?
You're wrong.
Are they selectively bred then?
Yeah.
JK.
Okay, well, can we fact check the Bosemani rainbow fish answer?
Which one was it?
Question 5. At what age do Bosemani rainbow fish typically display their full adult color?
Man-made.
See, guys,
Interesting.
this is what we deal with. Rob prints us up these questions and then says, here you go. Go make yourselves look a fool online.
So it says that they start to show their colors around 6 months and it begins to intensify, but 12 months they exhibit their complete adult coloration.
So you were
But didn't it say...
originally more correct.
Yeah, I
Your
feel
answer
like it
was more
was.
correct than this.
I still definitely thought it took longer than a year, even though I thought it was like
I
2
mean, that's
years.
the-
But
The AI overview, so
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Oh wait, no,
Um,
you have one more question, don't you? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't let me jip
Okay.
you.
All right.
Which Corydoras species is believed to release the most potent toxin into the tank when stressed? I know you already know this one. A. Bronze Corydora. B. Panda Corydora. C. Pygmy Corydora. Or D. Stirby Corydora.
Well, pygmy cories are adorable and harmless, and I love them. And they would never produce a toxin that would hurt something. They're lovers, not fighters. So it's not that.
Yeah.
Bronze Corydora, is that an option? They don't mess with that either. They don't need to.
Pandas.
Now, pandas also don't do that.
What about Stirbys?
Stirbys definitely do that.
Those little stinkers.
Yeah. Like if you taste a little bit of water from the Stirby Cory tank, you can taste the toxins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what you make your coffee with sometimes? Just to really wake you up?
The green quarries and the bronze quarries do release toxins.
Do they?
Mm.
Interesting.
I think candy quarries do too.
No, that can't be true. They would have told me that they do that. We've built a lot of trust. But yeah, Stirby cories are like infamously toxin releasing. So,
Interesting.
well, hey,
the
you
more
know
you
what?
know.
I would say that was just a good freaking time.
We did a lot of learning today
We did,
together.
yeah. Also,
Did you guys have so much fun?
so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've got one more question for chat that I would like you guys to help us with an answer on Discord. Now, I know you come to Flip because we're the experts, but
Obviously.
Leather and I are having a problem in some of our tanks,
Yeah.
which we've talked about this in the past, but we're having this issue where a tank will be fine, it's stable, it's good, no issues, and then we leave for the night, and then we come back the next morning and it's completely green. pH has shot up through the roof. It goes from like 7.3 to like 8.5, 9 sometimes even. And some amount of water changing actually does fix the problem over time. But help us figure out what is causing that and what we can do to prevent it. We've done some different things in the past that have fixed it, but I don't want to fix problems. I want to prevent problems in the first place. So
Yeah.
Did you guys ask Jason about it?
No.
He'd be a great person to ask.
I'll have to
So
reach
I,
out.
s- I started
I need to call
testing.
him anyway.
Yeah, ask him when you call him.
I may have you call him.
Why?
Will you call him today?
Yeah.
Chris, take that back.
So talking about whatever you guys talking about, or just talking about this?
Both.
Oh, sure.
Just because I've been so busy.
I just don't even know what you need to
Or
talk to.
Jason.
So I started trying the Monty clay that we got from Shrimp and Bee. That is supposed to help stabilize pH and help with water quality. although I do think it is supposed to be used more as a preventative, not as like a treatment. So I'm just kind of hoping like maybe it'll help me like as I do water changes, stabilize it as we go.
What if we put a little Monty clay in our main water totes?
Yeah.
Then it's just
A
there.
whole bag.
We'll have to get like bulk bags of Monty clay.
Yeah.
I mean, if it works. But I don't know.
Did you test anything today to see?
I haven't
the
been down there
impact?
yet today.
Gotcha.
No.
Everything's dead. Just-
That's why, honestly, I only put it in
Terrible.
like 4 tanks, I think, maybe 5, because I was just like too scared to go all in. Because you know, like
Makes
using
sense.
something new,
yeah, scary.
yeah. So
Chat has made a big accusation,
Ooh.
and I don't even think they're wrong.
what did they say?
They say that the toxic taste in the stir-by Cory tank is actually from Mark peeing in it.
Me and Em were in the basement the
Oh
other
my
day filming,
gosh.
and it smelled like poop. And I was like, oh my gosh, Liv's already doing her new idea and pooping in the buckets.
No, because that's literally what I was like. He's only doing what you guys said to do.
Yeah.
He's saving water.
Liv started all of this.
Listen, if we want to save money, we gotta endure a little. Not save money, but we want fertilized plants. We want a good product. We have to put up with a little bit of stink.
Yeah.
my
I mean, plumbers will tell you that the most convenient urinal is the sub pump. It's just where, I mean, so it makes sense that, you know, it would just start happening down there.
Yeah.
And Mark spends all of his time in the basement, so.
I don't see him come upstairs too often, but he is always carrying around a water bottle.
That's funny. Good old Mark.
Laura says those fish are listening to rock music at night, which is increasing the pH. That explains it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to start taking our speakers upstairs every night.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you guys think about that and have any, you know, if you sit on it, ruminate on it, let us know on Discord in the Fish Talk channel, whatever it's called.
Guppy Joe,
What we can
it
do
is
here.
in tanks that we are feeding, like it our regular food, but it's also in my pea puffer tanks that I only feed live Daphnia.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, hey, we'll get to the bottom of it. Jason
We will.
will solve the crisis for us.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Or chat. Although it doesn't look promising, except for their only thing is Mark's been peeing in those things.
Yeah.
Or rock music.
Yeah. So Laura G, to answer your question, we don't keep substrate in our tanks that we sell out of for fish. So no
Yeah.
substrate. There's literally nothing
Yeah.
else in the tank. We feed them
Yeah.
and we do water
And
changes.
some are
every
tanks
other
that
day.
might have a little algae in there already, but some of them aren't. There's like no other algae in there. It's just green water.
Yeah.
iMac wants you to put a live stream camera on it so that we can have evidence.
Rob, can we purchase 300 GoPros so that we can have one on each tank?
A live stream of all the tanks.
300. I mean, yeah. If do you have a credit card, personal, that we could borrow?
Oh, well, I have one with my name on it.
No. Personal.
It's my personal name.
If you buy all the GoPros, I will give you a $50 bonus on every paycheck until they're paid off.
With taxes deducted?
Yes.
Oh. So I'm operating at a loss. Either way.
I mean, it's only a loss if we don't catch the culprit.
I'll
We'll
have to
get
think
it.
about
We'll
that
get
deal.
it.
Yeah. I don't want to shake on anything yet.
Jam River said overfeeding, but those are pea puffer tanks, so
Yeah,
Really can't overfeed
it's not
those.
overfeeding. And no, it's not all the same food. Some of it is like our prepared foods, and then some of them are like my pea puffers that only get live Daphnia.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
We can chat about it on Discord.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
It is that time.
I forget who won rock paper scissors last week. Lexi, you won.
Lexi won.
Oh, Lexi did win. Well, it'll be interesting to see who wins out of the two of you now.
Lexi did win.
Have you guys ever done it before?
It's been a long time if
Yeah.
we did.
Wow.
But
This is going to be
probably.
quite the showdown.
Yeah.
Okay. The range is 11 to 37.
Well, don't cheat. You're going to pick your person.
No, I didn't look at the names.
11 to 37?
Yeah.
11, 37, 17.
Okay, I'm going to pick 23. You are Mike Reardon,
Let's go, Mike.
and I am Andrew Starnes.
Hey.
Andrew.
Well, this is going to be interesting watching you two showdown.
You know what? It's fine. Whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses, loses. And we'll still be friends after this.
Yeah. Amen. All right.
Okay. Ready?
Oh, you're.
I was
you're
going to go.
You're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay,
Ready?
ready?
Okay.
Rock.
Okay. Let's pause for a minute. I think we need to have a blank start. Okay. You're making me nervous.
I'm hungry. I'm ready to go eat.
Okay.
Okay,
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Dang.
Yeah.
How's it feel, Leather?
Feels good. But
You didn't like scream.
I would. I'm too hungry. I'm running on low energy.
Did you drink all your coffee today?
I haven't drank coffee in like 2 weeks.
What?
Or a week and a half probably. Yeah, I've been drinking tea, which still has caffeine, but I'm just so hungry right now.
Yeah.
Is it a Chipotle day for you?
No, I don't know what it is. But I have to go to MacBin and pick up something stupid I won. So that's annoying. It's the last day.
$5 deal meal then.
It might be the $5 Taco Bell box because that's what's on the way.
Nice.
We'll see.
All right, so
All
who's
right.
this for?
Andrew Starnes.
Andrew.
Let's go. You know, I'm on a pretty impressive losing streak lately. I'll admit it.
Hey,
bundle.
Crip
That's a good one.
bundle.
But you know what? Someone once told me, hey, we finally hit rock bottom. And so now it can really only go up. It can only get better.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
I don't know if I'm at the bottom yet, but
You're hoping you are.
I feel a rise coming soon.
Well, Andrew, congratulations on a Crip bundle.
I think he might be lurking or not here anymore.
Yeah.
Well, hey, he'll at least learn about it here shortly.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, do you have anything that you'd like to share before we hop off?
Sorry I wasn't here earlier. Who answered the most questions right?
I honestly don't even know. Was it you?
Yeah, I think I got
It probably
wrong.
was.
Well, a couple of the questions set
But
you
like
guys up for
one of
failure.
the questions I technically got right.
But hey, when we put together the things that you know and the things that I know,
there's nothing we can't do.
at the end of the day,
Magic
the fish
happens.
win,
Yeah.
and that's what matters.
That's what matters.
Yep. You're right.
Well, thank you
Dan-
guys for joining us
Wait,
this
wait,
week.
wait. Dan said, right, who needs a testing kit when Lev can just taste the water?
Well, that's what I do. Like, I was so tired of sanitizing pipettes and test tubes. I was just like, give me some freaking spoons. Just
Give me a straw.
Give me some
Hey,
teaspoons.
what's the pH of that tank?
Oh, I tasted it right before you came. It's a 7.8.
That's crazy.
The film on top gave it a unique texture. I think it needs more air. Well, thank you guys so much for joining this week, all you members. Thank you for being a member. We talked about Discord a lot today, so join us there. That's where we continue the party. Each and every day, there's a great community of people there who sometimes I think they know more than we know. So
I think a lot of times they do.
yeah, it's a really great resource if you have questions about your tanks, if it's shrimp specific, plants, fish, snails, whatever you got, there's somebody there that knows an answer. So join us on Discord. Thank you for joining us today. So with all that being said, God bless.
Catch you on
Catch
the
you on
flip
the flip
side.
side.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, for real. I'm so hungry, and I have to pee so bad.
Well, in 30 seconds you
gotta
can go
pee
eat.
and you're hungry?
Yeah, I'm on the struggle
Man.
bus over here.
You're having a rough day. But
Well,
at least you
Poor thing.
It'll be better soon.
At least you won some rock, paper, scissors. And at
That's
least
true.
you both were winners. Then live one trivia.
Yeah,
Wow.
What can't you guys do?
Oh my gosh.
nothing. There's
All right,
nothing.
well, I'm going to get Chipotle.
Okay.
Do either of you want anything?
No.
And would you like anything?
No thanks.
No thanks.
I gotta go.
No tanks.
All right, I
Say
gotta
hi
finish
to
one thing
Millie.
before I go.
You're gonna go get your Chick-fil-A pink pineapple dragon
I might.
fruit, whatever.
I might.